We dead ass recording, so we might as well
start.
start.
That's it. Damn.
Where do we start?
We started so good off camera. Like, we were like, oh, how you doing?
How you doing?
Hey.
It went perfectly. The ride over here, perfect.
Oh, man.
Lizbel, what's good?
What's up? How you guys doing? I'm actually happy to be here.
Lizbel with a Z.
With a Z. A very uppercase Z, if you care.
That's fire.
Yeah.
We're going to put it just like that, too.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, let's make sure when we edit that video that it goes out like that.
You heard that?
¿Cómo están ustedes hoy?
Estamos bien, estamos...
Yo estoy de maravilla.
Está bien.
Yo también. Mi mamá cumpleaños hoy.
Wow.
Her at 55.
Wow, God bless her.
She a little girl,
God
man.
bless her.
Now she about to turn up.
Life is just beginning.
Happy birthday para Mama Swag.
That's a fact, man.
Mama Cacata.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Ella sabe.
Happy birthday.
Where, but yo, Liz, what's up?
How you
doing?
I'm good. I'm actually good.
You
I'm
chilling?
really good. Yeah. I thought I would be low on energy because I broke all night, but I'm actually good on energy.
Nah, that's exactly what we want to hear, man. You know.
I mean, thanks to you.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, your conversation woke me up on the way over here. Because I was tired. I was sleepy.
There you go.
But talking to you guys, I just felt so comfortable. It's just,
that's awesome.
I feel like we're friends.
Plus, y lo blanco. No.
Yeah. Oye, cuidado con este.
No, thank you.
No hubo nada de eso.
Yo.
I stay far.
My man Team got everything to wake you up.
Under the sun.
No, thank you. Yo con este vinito estoy bien.
Perfecto.
Where?
Yo, so we're about to get started with Aqui Chillin.
That's it. Aqui. What episode was this? 15?
I don't know how to count, bro.
16. 16.
And I'm gonna count, and that's fucked up.
You got 2 episodes. Boom. It's a song about it's gonna be 15 and 16.
This is episode 16 right here.
It is
16.
It is 16.
Yeah.
Good. Damn, that's a lot of episodes.
It's cool.
I mean, for an idea that we literally just had,
eso
we
es.
just decided to do it.
Es un chin comparado con gente. Gente be having like 100.
How did you guys meet?
We met through music.
Through
music, yeah.
Which one of you guys do music? Both of y'all?
Both, yeah.
Both,
wow.
Yeah. But he's the real musician.
Nah. We both real musicians.
Damn, that's dope. How long you guys know each other?
Like
8 years.
8-9 years.
Oh, that's a friendship.
8-9.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
That's why the chemistry is there.
At this point, it's a brotherhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's somebody you cherish, man. I got some friends.
No, for real.
Friends for that long, it's very rare.
Yeah. Especially in this age.
Actually, and we do this because just to like preserve our friendship, como quien dice, because we're all busy and shit. So sacamos tiempo por lo menos para juntarnos and do this.
This is like bonding.
Yeah, aquí chilling. Tú sabes una vaina bien.
I told you, I got perfect chemistry.
Oh man.
So you could tell. You could tell that you guys are friends.
Oh. Toma. Yo, let's go tell people about you. Oh, no, she's interviewing us.
Wait, what she said?
I want to know.
She said she was gonna ask us.
I want to know why they call him Cacata.
Oh, Cacata. All right, so back when I was in college, like 2008, por ahí, there was a YouTube video. Había, shout out to Snipe Productions. They had like a video clip. What was that movie? You know, like people doing the voiceovers to movies and stuff like that. And it was Chris Tucker, and I forgot what movie he was in.
Like one of the Rush Hour movies?
Nah. It was some other one. But he's in a jail cell, whatever, con un gordito y vaina. Y él está hablando de que sí, loco, porque allá en el bloque, a mí me decían Cacata. And that's it. For some reason, I was like, yo, that shit's fire. Right? So what I did was, when I got my PlayStation, that was my name on PlayStation. So I had that name for 10 years. So I was like, yo, fuck it.
You should have copyrighted that, bro. You could have became fucking Spider-Man.
Yo, for real.
Cacata man.
Cacata man. Now it's never too late. I don't think nobody, you know what I'm saying? Cacata with a K. Ooh.
Oh, you might be on something.
Capital K.
Maybe. He might be on something.
Write that down.
Write it down.
Yo, I love it how you just took over.
Yeah, I love your
I
energy.
appreciate it.
You see what she just did, though?
Yeah.
Right?
What? I didn't do nothing.
She literally took over.
She took over.
I'm chilling with Lizbel.
For real.
She just took over, man.
She interviewing us.
I mean, y'all are interesting, so I don't see the problem.
Oh, man, we appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We do appreciate all the kind words you said.
Word.
But now
Thank
we
you.
want to learn about you.
¿Qué quieres saber?
Bueno, vamos a empezar hablando un poquito de quién es Lizbel, you know?
Okay. Lizbel Ortiz.
And what you do?
25 years old.
Nice.
I'm a baker. I'm writing a book.
I heard about that baking.
Yeah, I run a whole...
I heard them cupcakes ain't no joke.
Man. They something good.
You do honey cakes?
I do honey cakes,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
But I would say this. I specialize in making things that taste good.
Okay.
So,
no, but honey tastes good by me.
It tastes good once you're drunk. So that's fine. But I like making stuff that tastes really good.
Okay.
And for you to incorporate liquor into that, it's kind of like...
It's going to throw it off pretty much, right?
Nah, of course. You can...
Yeah, it's possible.
Don't listen to me.
Good idea. No, good idea, my brother. Good idea. Maybe one day, some sort of a henny vegan cake.
Henny vegan cake. Yeah.
A matar no bebida al mismo tiempo. What's the point? A fucking vegan henny cake.
So
hey, there's no animals in henny.
It turns you into one,
Okay. I like that.
But I run a home-based business. I'm a baker.
Nice.
I'm writing a book. I'm almost finished with that.
Okay.
I run
based
a panel. It's a lot about growing up Latin, but it's more so about sexism and like racism, colorism, things like that.
Are we gonna be able to? Are you gonna bless us with a little bit more of that later on during the show?
Absolutely, whatever you want to know.
Hey.
We talk. I talk a lot about like growing up as a Dominican girl. As a kid, and being raised in a Dominican household.
It's different.
Yeah. Boy.
Okay. I'm not even going to front. I have more special privileges.
Yeah, of course.
Like, my sister, they wasn't treated that bad, pero no era igual. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm Dominican. Stop playing.
It's fine. You can talk. If you guys,
you can talk. You involved.
Yeah, everyone can say something.
Nah,
Andy, he made the Puerto Rican joke so much that I was like, I thought he was Puerto Rican.
Now, the thing is, like, I was raised in the South Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
So, eso es Body City. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of my friends son Boricua.
Yeah.
I have my Dominicans too, but
I don't know. The
and then my look doesn't help. They were like, oh, yeah, he's Body. But I'm Dominican.
100%?
Yeah, both my parents Dominican.
Wow.
My pop's from Santiago, my mom from Bani.
Oh, wow. He Dominican.
Yeah.
Dominican.
You OD Dominican.
That's it. It up.
Nice. So I think, you know what? Before we go anywhere else, I think we should start with the book. I think we should talk a little bit about the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm anxious to know what is it about. And we did talk a little bit about it on our way here. Mm-hmm. But if you could elaborate un poquito more.
How was it growing up being a Dominican female?
Being a Dominican girl, like as you're growing up, it was so many restrictions, bro, that I didn't realize until I became a woman that, damn, now I gotta learn all this shit. Because they teach you from young, like, your life is meant for you to just be here to serve, which is a good purpose, but when you don't know how to pick and choose, as a woman, you literally do everything for everybody, and people will just turn their back, and you can't even say anything because they never asked you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, me growing up, I had to I learned that being a girl in a Dominican household, you were like the backbone of the family. So you were the one who withheld like the home, and you held it down, but you did it quietly. So you suffered a lot. Yeah. You suffered financially, physically, emotionally, being just the bearer of the children and doing so much and seeing so little. So seeing that growing up, I saw that, and instead of me being like, damn, that sucks, I kind of turned it into a rebellion where I was just like, I don't ever want to fucking be like that.
No,
right.
I don't ever want to be like the women in my family who have stayed in situations just because that's all that we've known. So what I did is I tried to write a book as an adult to myself as a young girl. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like rewind time and talk to little girls now.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you now, todo eso que tú aprendiste, right, growing up, and I mean, I'm a Dominican guy, I've been around Dominican women, and I've seen it. I've seen everything you told me, I have seen it too. Yeah. Do you think at one point you had to unlearn a lot of things people taught you?
Yeah, of course, because when you grow up, you can stay in that position and you can't say, I am just going to go through life this way because that's just what I know and it's comfortable and I'm okay with it. But for me, I've always been a fighter. I've always been, you can ask them, I've always been rebellious just for no reason, just because I wanted to be. So my thing was like, I don't want to do that because I see what it got the women in my family. I see you now as a girl, you see them and it's like, damn, they have a family, they have their kids, it's beautiful. Like you grow up and you see like, damn, They used to get beat on. They got cheated on. Like, they have kids
Yeah,
outside of their
aguantaron todo.
marriage.
Yeah.
And it's like, most of the abuse is financially because the women are poor and, you know, you stay home and you take care of the children, and the men, they go home and they take care of.
And,
They bring the bread. To the
yeah,
table.
and you know what's a little sad too? Que yo me he dado cuenta que like a lot of these women had to sacrifice like dreams and goals
Yeah.
y muchas cosas que ellos querían hacer. And because of that lifestyle and that belief in the culture back then, they never got to fulfill those things. And they live with that the rest of their life.
Yep.
They live with it and they're just expected to take it in. Like, it's just, you're a woman, so that's what you're supposed to do. It's just like, you do have these dreams, these goals, these things that you want, these things that you love and you want to do. But first comes your children, first comes your husband. And it's like, when you are the backbone of the family, you don't have time for anything else, which is so fucking unfair to me. Where it's like,
it is.
Why is it that we have to cater so much of our lives to children and husbands, which is fine because it's like, it's love and we love our kids and we love the people in our lives. But at what point do you say, all right, what about me?
Me, yeah.
What's making me happy? You know, not only what can my kids gain from it? Because I see my mom growing up, and my mom worked every job you could possibly think. Like, I'm telling you, Burger King babysitter. She was a babysitter for like 10 kids at one point.
Wow.
One family, and she wasn't even being paid. So it was like, she sacrificed so much. And now at 51 years old, I'm seeing my mom do something for herself. Like, now I see her being happy, doing videos with Andy and just like, bro,
she's a celebrity
I'm
now.
telling you, that brought a different kind of joy out of that woman that I have never in my life seen at 25 years of my life.
Yo, and she's a natural.
Bruh.
She
is so funny. And the way you see her online is not how she is in person because she really is a sweetheart. Like, she is the best mom, you know. But just experiencing how she was for the first 20 years of my life, you know, which was just like a mom, and everything that she did was for us. I never see her do anything outside of that for herself. And now I see her like working out, taking care of herself, going out to get her hair and nails done.
Which is a good thing.
Just taking care of herself and having fun,
as she should.
Yo,
just having fun.
Y es otra cosa también. Like, a lot of older women, mujeres ya que han criado los hijos and stuff, they forget they still got time to go out and get pretty.
Ellos se quedan vieja, bro. Your life is just starting once the kids leave.
That's a fact.
No, that's a fact. Así está la mamá mía.
Oh, Mama Swag ain't playing, B. You got it.
Mama Swag say, yo, you can take care of yourself.
I
don't got my husband no more. Nobody controlling me.
Yep.
Yo, she never home.
And I'm telling you, she deserves it because I see that in my mom.
That's
when
good.
you are restricted for so many years and you're so used to a situation with somebody who's like holding you back of who you are, or just like holding you back of things you want to do, and you finally get that ounce of freedom, it's like you'll never be able to go back.
Nah.
So
she said she ain't going back.
Yeah, I probably, you need to get my mom's number so they can go out.
For real.
I ain't looking back.
That's a fact. She's like, yo, I ain't going back.
Though.
I love it so much because she be like, yo, voy pa casino. Se va pa casino.
Yep.
I'm gonna go out with my friends to eat. I
escuchar
don't gotta explain to
nadie.
She don't gotta explain to me. Yo no soy nadie. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's really just about women taking ownership of their lives and saying, yo, I understand we have things that we want to do, we love to do. We do have obligations when we become mothers and wives. But again, this life is yours, bro. So you really got to take care of yourself and make yourself happy so that everybody else can indulge in that happiness too.
That's a fact.
But if you are physically miserable because you have so much on your back, of course you're going to be letting out fire every fucking way of
course.
To whoever comes to you. So I do understand moms, like, when they have that anger and that fury to, like, their children and their families. Yeah. So I do understand that, but it's also like, all right, now what do? We're going to move on so that we can have a life of our own and really just indulge in our own happiness.
Now let me ask you. Do you think that for that to happen, we should start teaching the man
Absolutely.
or teaching the woman? Who do you think?
Well, I would say both. I say the thing is with men, they don't listen to women. Men don't listen to women. Men listen.
You think so? I feel like,
for a fact, because
I feel like men do listen to
Some.
them. When
really
they love the woman, they do like.
Yeah, when they love them, but it's very rare. It's very rare for your mom to tell you, yo, you're doing something wrong. And you're just like, you're right. It's never really like that. From my experience, at least, I've noticed that men listen to other men. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of men who have like that like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't say that. Right. A lot of men growing up in my life, I won't speak for everybody, but just in my life, were very complicit. So it's like, you could say and do some fucked up shit. You could beat the shit out of your wife, but I'm not going to say nothing because that's just not my business. Instead of you saying, bro, that's not cool.
Yeah.
That was not okay. I'm not fucking with that. And because of what you just did, I'm no longer in your life. You don't really have people hold you accountable in that way. Yeah. So I would say it does start with talking to men so that they do know, all right, your wife is stressed out at home and she's taking care of the whole house. And you kind of like, you work and you do all this, but you have a lot of things that you can do to help her out. So it's just about taking that initiative to try to be like, all right, let me try to take some things away from her so she can enjoy her time and she can be happy. Because once you have that woman happy, I promise you, your life is going to change. Because any woman in your life, bro, any woman who comes into your life, as long as she's not like a toxic person who's manipulative, you know, because there are women like that. Unless she comes into your life, everything will bloom if she's happy if you're happy.
Right.
But if she is a miserable woman, she will fucking kill you. Yeah, she will literally kill you. She will literally drown your life in misery. So it's really about, you know, just making sure you make the effort to make sure that the women in your life are comfortable and are good with their position.
Like the saying goes,
you know what I noticed
life,
growing up, la vaina es that whenever, like she said, whenever a guy did something fucked up, se lo celebraban.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They applaud like, oh shit, yeah, tú eres un tigre, yeah. Like if it's a good thing, like, no. Like, what are you, that's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? It was a lot
of
that.
And the females, if the females did it, it was like, oh, nah. Son acuero, they wild, you know
they wild out, yeah. And it has to do, again, I think, with the culture, right? The machista culture. Machismo, where they celebrate what the guys do. Like, for example, a little boy que llora, ¿no, verdad? Right. They tell that little boy you can't be crying because men don't cry.
Yeah.
So, cositas así, en verdad.
I had a chapter about that, actually, in my book.
Oh, wow,
it's called, I forgot the name of the actual chapter, but I wrote about it because there was one time when we were kids, I don't know if you remember this, but me, my sister, my mom, and my little cousin Elvin were all there. And Andy, for some reason, he started crying. I don't know if he hurt himself or whatever, but my dad was like, stop crying, que tú no eres niña.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he said something along the line, like, don't cry, like, you're not a little girl. Yeah. And in my head, I didn't say it out loud because I was just a kid, but in my head, I'm like, what? Like, you got 2 daughters right here. Like, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
That was just me as a little kid in my head. Now I would be like, Poppy, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
But as a little girl, I just understood that.
Right.
And Andy growing up, Andy was kind of like the softer one from all of us because he was the boy, so my mom protected him. But Andy, of course, like, if you get to that level, but he's a very peaceful person. Me and her were actually like the troublemakers. We
were
like
to pick on him probably, right?
No. We used to fist fight, all 3 of us. We would fist fight, like fist fight. Yep, it'd be 1-on-1. It'd be 1-on-1, and then we end up just all fucking each other up.
Damn. Funny.
But as for like outsiders, me and her were like the protectors of Andy, and
nice.
So I guess that the way they raised us, and I would say this for a lot of Hispanic cultures, it's like we kind of baby the men a little bit, where it's just like we don't hold them accountable. We let them get off with a lot of shit.
That's true.
You're right.
Because they're men and because, you know, they are babies and we just want to, you know. And then the women, we treat them.
I was built just like that.
And then, now don't pound each other, not in front of me.
But we conscious though. We conscious about the fact. Good. Like, you know, we definitely, I believe in everything you're saying.
Yeah, for real. Like, if I have, like, my future kids, whatever, that I'm not gonna be the same way I was raised. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about elevation, bro. And just like learning from your own mistakes.
Because I know it's fucked up. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
With women, it's like with little girls, we're so much harder on little girls than we are on little boys just because we expect so much of them. Yeah. So it's like with the boys, we don't hold them accountable enough. And then when the women are like throwing all of the shit. It's like we get blamed for almost a lot of the stuff.
They never made me like mop. When I was growing
like
up,
clean.
Y las mujeres, yo, you got it. Tú tienes que fregar, tú tienes que eso. Like, yo, I should have been doing a lot of that shit too.
Yeah.
Yo fregaba. See, the difference is he was born here. I was born in the yard.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
here,
the difference.
Yeah, because over here is like...
Yeah, Andy nunca fregaba un plato. My dad would say he's not going to do it.
Sí, eso es para mujeres.
Yeah,
Another
eso pa'
comment
mujeres. He
that
would
you be
always
like,
say that.
What?
Yeah, ¿verdad?
Eso para mujeres. Like,
So, si tú
what?
tienes un apartamento, tú no vas a limpiar, asqueroso.
Muchacho, cuéntame a mí que yo tengo que barrer, hacer todo.
Y tú entras a la casa alguna vez y viven como puerco y es por eso, porque
Yep.
nunca
No le enseñaron.
No le enseñaron a limpiar.
Yeah, I mean, yo te voy a ser sincero, el día que yo tenga hijo y si es varón, you gotta learn how to do everything. Porque por mi misma experiencia, tú sabes, los padres míos, when I got older, they moved to Jersey, whatever, I had my own apartment, so it's like, I had to do everything. Imagine si a mí no me hubieran enseñado nada.
Right.
Yeah.
Tuviera yo, como tú dijiste ahorita, like a pig,
Yeah, it's just
fucking
about...
drowning in my own garbage.
It really is just
Tú
about...
cocinas, loco.
Yo, you know I cook,
Yeah.
¿Tú sabes
No.
cocinar?
bro. Claro, yo sé cocinar, yo sé de todo, muchacho.
What you know how to make? What's your favorite dish?
Eggs.
No, my I'm gonna be honest, it's tostones. I know that's not cooking though.
Listen.
But I do a nice, I eat brown rice. I don't eat regular rice. So I eat brown rice. I like
good.
brown rice with corn and maybe some chicken I'll make. I'm a big ground turkey guy, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I like ground turkey.
I love ground turkey.
Yeah, I can't relate to that.
Now, I was forced to eat like that porque la presión me subió. Vaina.
Oye, es un muchacho tan joven, comiendo chinito lo mejor.
Yo, I used to eat chinito todos los días.
You used to eat
everything.
chinos a lot as a kid?
Huh?
Chinito, like Chinese food?
Yeah, Chinese food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I used to eat
Chinese
that
food is
shit.
good,
That's
though.
just good. It's
I love
alright.
It's I mean, it's...
Un par de gatico ahí, tú
It's
sabes.
I would eat it like when I didn't have no class. I used to eat that a lot when I was very poor.
Okay.
Yo, people laugh though, but
Yeah.
I never, when I was younger, yo no comía afuera. My mom used to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No, that's fire.
Every day.
Yeah.
And she was a hairdresser.
Wow.
And she worked all day. So to this, that's why I'd be like, she my queen. Cause
Yo.
I'd be like, yo, you did a lot. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's good.
Hablando de superación, my mom was a housewife, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she got fed up one day and she was like, nah, fuck that. I ain't about to be like here el día entero de más fregando y
Yeah.
limpiando. So she said, I'm gonna get a job. Boom. And then nowadays, now she own her own house and toda la
Beautiful.
vaina.
Yeah, his
If she
mom-
would have
his
stayed
mom
a
was his mom
housewife
was a G.
and just accepted all my father's bullshit,
Yeah.
she would have never. You know,
You know what's interesting? There's a part of Cardi B's story that a lot of people don't know. But Cardi B, before as soon as she started making music, the boy she was dating at the time, which was Tommy, he was in jail,
Yeah.
and she was with him for like 2 or 3 years prior to him going to jail. And she was on Love and Hip Hop at this time, and he did not want her to pursue a career.
damn.
He didn't want her to make music, and he didn't want her to be on TV neither. He always used to say, like, just wait for me to get home. I'll be home in like 6 months, and I'm going to take care of us. I just want you to stay home and have the babies. And she would be, it's all
Yeah.
on YouTube, and she would be like, no, like, I need to pay my bills now. Like, I gotta, I have things that I want to do in my life. And he would just be like, relax. Like, when I get home, everything is going to be good. I'm going to take care of the bills.
Un tiguerazo en la cell block.
Exactly. And it's like, fast forward to Cardi B right now.
Boom.
What if she would have listened to that motherfucker?
Yo, my God.
What if she would have said, you know what, you're right, babe. I'm gonna take a backseat, and when you get home, we'll let you do that. How many Cardi B's are we missing right now in life?
Yeah.
Like,
a
how
lot.
many women, bro? How
Muchísima.
many women have taken a backseat just for everybody else in their lives, and they could have been the next fucking Oprah,
They
Yeah.
they will never know.
and they'll never know.
Generations of them.
Generation,
For real.
and it makes me sad. It does.
Yeah,
Like,
it does.
I write a lot in the book about the women in my family.
Mhm.
The women who came after me and the women who came before me. So I talk about a lot about my grandmother, my sisters, my cousins, my aunts, and their experiences with their lives, and seeing the drastic decisions they had to make for their families that is no longer appreciated. Like,
Right.
everybody just thought, well, that's just, you just
That
have,
you
to,
have
do
to
it.
do it.
It's
Yeah.
your thing. You have to do it. Like, that's just your life.
And now, do you think, tú piensas que las cosas están cambiando? Like, are things changing? Do you think maybe like with us millennials, like, are things shifting a little bit?
I think with every generation it shifts a little bit. I do think it's getting better. It's getting a
Right.
lot better, especially in the age of social media.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of people are learning a lot faster.
Right.
A lot of men are holding a lot of men accountable now, which is something I see now where it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love to see that.
Like you go in the comments and
Yeah.
sometimes you see other men, checking other men like, yo, what's up?
And it's sort of coming into like a brotherhood where it's like, I'm not even trying to disrespect you, but what you're doing is not cool. So you gotta like fix that.
You gotta hit him up with one time, like, asqueroso.
Yep. Un asquerosito.
Yeah.
But it really is just about, man, learning and teaching other people.
Ahí.
Yo, hey, what are you doing?
Estamos bien.
Bro?
Ay, okay.
You see this
Está
guy?
dando mierda
Haciendo
ahí,
señas, ¿eh? Tírale una chancleta de aquí. Yo, you see, man, that's why we can't bring Team Dominican nowhere, man. Because Team Dominican, de que le da el olor a vino, ya quiere estar tirando vaina. Like, what's up, B?
Don't know how to act and shit.
Lizbel, man. And you were mentioning Andy earlier during the conversation.
Yeah.
That's
Who's
my
Andy?
dude, man.
Yeah, who's
Yo,
Andy?
that's my favorite dude on social media, man.
That's mine too.
I always say it.
Mine too. Don't tell him I told you that though.
Nah, we'll keep it a secret.
Yo, it's like he don't try. I could tell when somebody's like forcing or like playing a character.
Yeah.
He's not playing a character. It's just like se
Is
ve
he
tan
being himself?
orgánico, you know what I'm saying?
He is himself, 100%.
Se ve orgánico.
Yeah. The one thing about Andy is he's always been that way. The way you see him now, like he's literally always been that way. He's always been a very good storyteller, very good impersonator, like very good with voices and weird shit like that. I would always tell him like, bro, you should get into voice acting classes. Like you can
And his Spanish is fire.
It's
I
really
love his
not,
Spanglish.
but it's beautiful.
His Spanglish is fire. And so,
But
yo.
he's very talented, man. A lot of people think that it's just regular and it does come to him naturally, but that dude is so smart, man. He's so creative and like
No,
intelligent.
the creativity is
it's ridiculous.
his content is
it's good. I love it.
original all day.
it.
You see it at full face, but like seeing him edit and the process of just like the small things that other people don't notice. Just like, bro,
that's a key.
Yeah, you would
That's
think that this man has an army of like people editing and doing all kinds of shit, and it's literally just him on his phone.
But I also heard you a major key.
And you record most of the video, right?
I
heard you the one behind Coño, when you be recording the
but
video.
she had to fuck him up in one video though for the
It's not just on videos. I be giving him like real life
Oh
problems.
shit! Damn! Oh my fault.
You still got them hands from when y'all was little?
But the thing is, we used to wrestle. Like we used to watch a lot of wrestling, so we used to like really fuck each other up, do the tombstone.
Oh
like,
shit!
Yo, I used to pick Andy up on my back and like throw him on
Oh
the bed.
nah, shit! I'm gonna talk to you nice. Hold up. If you gonna fuck me up off air. You know
Oh
what
no,
I'm
I
saying?
need that footage.
You need the footage.
I go viral real quick.
That's cool. And your relationship with him, I'm assuming it must be good, right?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Andy was like my brother.
Yeah.
Like I met him like 24. Shut up. 25. I met him 25 years ago. I'm 25, right? 25 years ago.
He's like it, brother.
Nah, but we do have a great relationship. We do.
Cool.
I give that to my parents though. I give that to my mom and my dad because they were really growing up. They were really, really, really serious about us making sure that we maintain that loyalty to each other.
That's what's up.
They made sure, especially my dad, they made sure that me, my mom, my sister, my brother always looked out for each other. We always were there for each other. Like my dad used to tell us, if there's a sandwich here and if you can't split it into 3 parts, throw it out, give it to somebody else. So it's like, if one of you can't do something, then nobody's going to do it. So it's more.
That's good.
Thank you. So it's like they created that bond, and then it kind of like hit them in the face as we grew up. Because they would try to ask us shit, and I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. We would just cover for each other, but
you don't know.
We are very close, all 3 of us. But me and Andy, we really are like best friends. I honestly, when I say he's my best friend, I mean like our humor, everything about us matches. Like it kind of feels like we were twins. And I always tell him that it feels weird. Like we deadass can finish each other's jokes.
Oh man.
And I'll know what he's about to say. So it's like, it's a cool partnership that we have. But that dude is so intelligent, bro. He inspires the shit out of me every single day.
We were
Me
asking
too. I
him.
do.
We were asking when he's gonna do stand-up comedy or something.
I've been telling him.
Yo, he
bro.
could do it. Yo.
Yeah, he's
I
done it for us before.
He should do it, man. I'm telling you.
He was like working on it, and then he was like, "All right, I did a small skit. I'm gonna just perform it for you guys."
Nah.
And he performed it for like 5 of us in the living room, and
Yo,
it was really
what's up?
dope.
We're gonna do an Aqui Chillin event. We're gonna invite all the guests that came on the show to a little party, and we want to have him do it. A
You
stand-up.
know what, my nigga, toast to that
You know what
because
I'm
I
saying?
fucking love
Yo,
that
alright.
idea.
Hey.
Isn't that a dope
That's
idea?
a dope
Salud.
ass idea.
Come on.
Now we
like,
definitely gonna throw that party though.
yeah.
He
He's
would
gonna
do
do
it.
it.
He
He's
would
gonna
do
do
it.
it.
He
He's
would
gonna
do it.
We could do like a
do it.
barbecue now in the summer too.
Right, a barbecue.
Outdoors.
a brunch.
Oh yeah, barbecue.
Outdoors, bring all the guests.
Oh.
Everyone networks. Everyone meets each other,
Yep.
and we bring families and friends, and even some outside people. And we
Just
get
make sure team is not on the grill.
Nah.
Last time I went to his
again.
barbecue, eso fue
Never
vaina
again.
quemada, carbón.
Damn.
No.
You're like, here, a
again.
burger. I was like, what?
No hot dogs from him either.
Is a burger supposed to crunch? Not, right?
Nah.
Gotcha. Well done.
Don't worry, I won't complain.
he
bro.
put it- he
Tú me
put-
das look at that.
He put emphasis on the done part. That
Done,
shit was,
right?
that shit was
That's
done.
done for real. Like how you want it, done or done? I want it like that.
Done. Muchacho, that's crazy.
Diablo.
Oye,
What's up?
vamos a hablar del bacon talent que tú tienes.
That's a fact.
Porque
Okay.
that's
How we like? You just decided one day like
you got magic powers one day. You start baking.
Nah,
Like, what's
this
up?
This what happened. She started like, yo, cooking, boom. Oh, it tasted good. Y después you just ran with it.
That's a fact. But it
Must
didn't
be
really
the
taste
flick of
good.
the wrist. Then.
Oh,
It was.
damn. Somebody
Well,
was really nice to you.
I kind
then.
of started off just like playing in the kitchen and just like
nice.
making brownies and making like little desserts here and there. And then eventually it got good. And after like 3 years of me saying, I was too scared to start a business. I was terrified of it because I didn't feel like confident enough to charge people for stuff, which I know a lot of creators have.
Yeah.
Whereas like you feel uncomfortable just charging people for things that you make.
Yeah.
And I fought myself like that for 3 years.
Damn.
And then one of my friends, June, he was just like, yo, do it. Like, just do it. Like, don't even think about it.
You'll be surprised what people pay for stuff.
Yeah, and when I launched it, like it took off right away, and that's when I noticed, like, damn, my shit is actually really, really good.
Right.
And then the customers, like, it was mostly my friends who supported me. So
That's how it starts.
important.
yeah, that's
But
where it started.
That's how it should be all the time.
Right.
Your close circle is supposed to support your product or whatever you
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
And I'm blessed to have like a solid family and friendship of a solid group of people, who support me 100%. Because I had people when back then I would sell cakes for $25. I was selling a cheesecake. I was selling a cheesecake
Damn.
that you're supposed to sell for like $45, $50 for $25.
You had it for the low.
For the low.
low.
Because I was just like, I don't feel comfortable charging people for this, for this. And then my first wake up call was when my friend Gio, he ordered a cake and I gave him, I told him this is the amount and he sent me the money and he sent me like triple the amount.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
that's beautiful. You know
He
why?
sent me-
Because he literally set the price for you.
right,
Yeah.
he sent me triple the amount.
Yeah.
And then I gave him a call and I was like, yo, the cake is only, like, you made a mistake. And he was like, I'm not paying you what you told me. I'm paying you what I think it's worth.
Shout out to, what's his name?
Shout out
Giovanni.
Gio.
Shout out to Gio.
Gio.
Gio,
man.
that's my brother.
That's
he just
what's
had
up.
a baby.
Gio out here
Ooh,
working like a stock
congratulations.
in the stock market. He was like, nah,
He
this
probably
Like, 'cause
doesn't even
he
remember
literally,
that.
he
but
literally
he
value your product.
He probably does not
He
even
probably
remember
thought
that.
like she was gonna be like, nah, just pay me this. So he
Yeah.
just sent it like, ya te lo mandé.
He was like, I'm not asking you like how much you want. I'm telling you, I'm sending you what you're worth. And
Talk
I
about
was
market
like, what the
price.
fuck?
Yo.
And that's when I saw, I was like, damn, like, I really do have a good group of people around me right now that are really supporting me. And since everything is working out and it's just like falling into place, this must be what God wants for me.
Facts.
Because I feel like once things just start to like fall in line, where it's just like the universe is just like dropping hints all over the place and things just start to come together, I think that's God telling you, like, yo, sis,
Fact.
lo encontraste.
That's
And you enjoy yourself, right?
Yeah. I love baking. The only issue with me is I feel like I have so many layers to myself. So like I am a baker, but I'm also huge into politics, and I'm like, there's so many things that I'm interested in that I never wanted to be limited to just a baker.
No.
So that is a very small part of my life.
I like that.
Even
I
though
like
it's
that.
huge, it's
like
a very
that.
small part of my life because I have so many other things that I want to do.
And you could do it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of course, man. We multidimensional in 2019. We do it
Oh,
as
that's
fuck.
Get
a
it.
fact. Cheers
We
to
do
that.
whatever.
Cheers to that.
Cho, nena, multidimensional. I fucks with it.
Uno hace lo que quiera.
another kilo.
Oh, actually, speaking of the baking, I
Oh,
brought
I
you
thought
guys
you
some
was
cookies. What?
Oh,
Actually, I got one here.
I brought you guys cookies.
nah,
What?
you lying.
I want to be in the show.
Nah,
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 you good.
nah,
I brought you
team.
guys red velvet and strawberry
Woo!
cookies.
Rainbow was my favorite.
Enjoy these. These are for you guys.
Oh, we gotta taste
No, we
it
gotta
right
eat it
now.
right now.
So taste them on camera.
Actually, before we do this, yo, we're gonna show
yeah,
it.
show it.
Yeah,
Yo,
we gotta.
look
Yo,
at that.
this is real, B.
That
This
logo's
is
fire.
what is it? Is it Lizbel?
Thank you, Lizbel's baked goods.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what we need.
Yes.
Wow.
Pasa un red velvet aquí.
Vamos a probarlo. This is the taste
Yep.
test.
So it's red velvet, white chocolate chips,
Yep.
and strawberry ones down there too with chocolate chip. You are so beautiful. You belong on the cover of a fucking GQ magazine. I swear to God.
Yo, that's my homegirl Serene.
Yo,
Shout out to
she
Serene.
does. She
Shout
looks
out
like
to
a model.
Serene.
She's talking, you know.
Yo, I wanted her to be on the show, but she fronted on me.
How?
No, that's not true. First of all, I'm here because somebody else that I sent over here is supposed to be on the show.
Damn.
She didn't come.
Wow.
Yo, this is
Wow.
fire.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yo, this is really good.
And it's
Thank
soft.
you.
I hate when the cookies smell hard.
Yeah, me too. I don't like hard cookies.
What we missing is some milk.
You got wine.
No.
You got wine.
Nah, red velvet is no with milk, bro.
I'm
Whole milk or almond
Wow.
milk? Because that says a lot
Almond
about
milk.
you. Almond milk?
an almond milk. So
I see you're a good person.
I try to be. I try to work on myself all the time. But yeah, almond milk. It's really
What's
good.
that fucked
Lizbel.
up milk? The
appreciate
1%, the 2%?
Whole milk.
Whole milk.
Whole
yeah.
milk.
Team.
You drink
That's
whole
what.
milk?
Yeah, that's what he drinks with Bustelo in the
We
morning.
got to boycott Team Dominican now.
Muchacho. Vamos.
Pass
Yeah,
it
yeah.
down, pass it down.
Tan buena. That's all we gotta say, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
you. Thank
Yo,
you.
it's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
It's my favorite type.
Red velvet.
Damn, you know
the
what?
cake, cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you actually are going on the history books of Aqui Chillin because you're the first person to bring us a gift.
Yo, that's a fact.
Wow.
That's a fact.
Que maricones.
Beep, beep, beep.
How is nobody bringing you niggas gifts?
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We should be getting gifts every freaking
Right.
show.
Oh,
Of course.
But you know what? We're gonna stay humble for now.
yeah.
Next time I'll bring you something else.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna come back on the show.
I
You
appreciate
ain't taking
it.
that.
Muchacho.
It's un gift.
So back to the book, Lizbel, because I know you mentioned a whole bunch of other stuff when we were driving here, we were getting to the studio. What else is in the book that you would like to share with us?
I talk a lot about race relations in the Dominican Republic, and
Oh, yeah.
and a lot about Dominican Americans
big
here.
topic.
We got to hit that topic right now.
Yeah, I do a lot about anti-blackness, colorism,
Ooh.
a lot of things that affect us today, and we don't think it does, but it literally does
course.
every single second of your life.
And those are topics that a lot of people don't like touching.
Yeah, and
Especially in our community.
yeah, and that's why I like it because it's spicy for me.
Yeah.
I'm
Controversial.
yeah.
I like that.
It's the kind of person I was always like the person in my family who was like, no, that's not okay. You can't say shit like
Vamos a
that.
hablar del tío aquel
Yeah.
que nadie quiere hablar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ask this one.
Yeah.
Yo
Oye, ¿qué
comienzo-
pasó
Oh,
con fulanito?
Yo entro a la casa, ahora me quito la gorra y digo,
Uh-oh.
ok, ¿a quién vamos a hablar ahora? Que todos ustedes son asquerositos.
Asquerosito.
Nah, but
Yeah.
I'm very big in holding people accountable.
I love that.
It's just that. It's literally just that, holding people
Oh,
accountable.
those are the type of friends
Whether
we're
it's-
looking for.
Yo,
whether
for
it's
real.
white people being racist, whether it's Dominicans being racist, or whether, it's you being sexist. Whatever it may
Exactly.
be, I'm just into holding you accountable.
Yep.
Especially in front of me.
Yeah.
Especially in front of me, because it's just not
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
So I've always been that person in my life. And then growing up, I started to really, really listen and hear the conversations of my family and just around other people and other cultures. how they would speak about black people and how they would speak about black Latinos. And in my head is like, it doesn't make sense for you to talk bad about a Jamaican.
Yeah.
And then you'll look at a black Dominican and think that they're okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Because Jamaicans don't speak Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
So the only barrier is the language or like the complexion. That's not okay with me. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you this. I have an uncle that he's dark. And he don't like dark people.
Yep.
That's our culture.
That's Dominicans for you.
That's our culture, and it sucks.
That's Dominicans for you.
Yo, and I'll be like, what's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah. And you know what's sad is because, unfortunately, la ignorancia, el nivel de ignorancia que existe is fucking unbelievable. Because nowadays we have all the information we need to understand where all this stuff comes from, and no one wants to even touch it.
Nobody. And it's because it's such a risky topic. You do get
it's
a lot of
you
get a lot of backlash. Like I get shit from my family. To this day I get into arguments with my dad, like and just with people in my family. But it's something that I strongly do believe in. And it's not just even me pushing personal opinions. It's just about me pushing facts.
Facts.
Dominican Republic was founded by fucking natives. We had that land. And then the Europeans came in and brought in Africans, and that became our culture.
Exactly.
So the biggest parts of the Dominican culture came from our African side, which is like the merengue, the bachata,
the drums,
the music, the food, like all of the dope shit that came from our culture came from the African side. So why is it that we are so hesitant to turn, like we're so hesitant
to even celebrate it?
They're not educated.
Like we look at them like they're the wrong ones when it's like
it's the other way around.
Yeah,
they're not educated. That's what it is.
Yeah, and even if there's some people who would rather it be that way, they would rather just be blind because what they've been taught up to now. For you to rip the rug from under them,
it's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah,
I've had that conversation with a 30-year-old, and they've been fully black hair, black skin, Dominican. But you're so racist. And I would tell you, how you racist and you black?
Yeah, it's sometimes it's so hard to wrap your head around
and
it.
He literally looked at me like I was ridiculous. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, bro, have you ever picked up a book? On like, there's a lot of books.
Like,
you could
just
probably read about it.
Yo, if you don't want to pick up a book, go on Google.
That's a fact.
There's audiobooks. There's no reason for any ignorance in this day and age.
Yep.
There should be no reason for it.
Yo, you know who got me tight, man? Your boy Sammy Sosa, man.
Mira, de ese ni lo hablamos. Ese asquerosito. Listen, Sammy Sosa was my childhood
That's an
hero.
example of like that what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yo.
Like, he was moreno. You're the darkest Dominican, you know what I'm saying? And you're famous and you got everything. Everybody want to be like you.
And that wasn't enough.
And then you want to switch? My man got contacts, bro.
Yeah. You look like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. You don't even look white.
Nah, he looks
Parece rosado.
Un vampiro. Yo no entiendo. I mean, it's sad.
But you know what he's at? Es aquerosito. My man said, oh, it was not. What was it? I was not that dark. It was because I was exposed to the sun every day.
Damn, B. That's what little kids.
Son.
Oh, man.
You know what's funny?
I can't even entertain that.
That shit crazy.
Last summer, we went to the beach with my family, and we have one of my little cousins who she's kind of like your complexion, probably a little bit darker. And her mom is the exact same complexion, but her mom suffers from colorism. Like, she legit hates her skin color. She hates it. Even though her name is like black. In Spanish, her name is black, so it's Negra. Her name is Negra.
Her name is Negra?
Her nickname is Negra.
That's fire.
Which is, of course.
But if you suffer from colorism...
Oh, yeah.
Like you have those projections. So when she came in, she came from DR and she brought the girl. And I would have conversations with the little girl, which is like my baby now. And I would be showing her videos on my phone. And I remember one time I showed her a video of one of all of us at a beach. And one of my friends was there and he's really dark skinned. Yeah. And she was like, oh my God, no. Like, when she saw him, she was like, oh, my God, no.
Is this a little kid?
She's like 6. So, at the time, she was probably like 5. And she was like, oh, my God, no. And I was like, what happened? And she was like, es negro. Like, he's really, really dark. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. And she was like, y yo soy así. I was like, you're not that dark, but your skin is beautiful. And I started I was like, you see my skin? Like, me and you, we almost have the same complexion. You know, people kill for this complexion, right? Because the year prior to that, she was hiding from the sun. We were at a pool, and she was in tears, hiding from the sun, because we were online at the pool and she couldn't get away from it. Like, there were no trees.
Shit.
So she, like, grabbed the towel and she was like, no, I don't want to get darker. Like, I don't want to get darker. I don't want to. I'm going to be ugly.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So I remember listening to that, and, like, I took a mental note of it so that the next time it did come up in conversation, I could have that talk with her about herself.
And know how to handle it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the perfect moment when she saw him and she said that. And I was like, you can't do that, right? And she was like, oh, it's just, I forgot what was it that she said, but I just told her, like, your skin is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would kill for your skin. Your skin complexion is so beautiful. Like, you have a caramel tone. And I was like, you see mine? I love it. Like, I've always loved it. I've always loved it because it's so cute and people love it. Mm-hmm. Like, me talking to her as a child.
Right. So she can relate.
Right. And she was like, po la piel mía linda entonces.
Exacto.
So she was like, in English, she was like, oh, so my skin is cute then. Yeah. And then she had, like, left. This was like 5-10 minutes later. Mm-hmm. I overheard her telling her mom, like, Mami, tú no tienes que ponerte ese maquillaje que la piel tuya está linda ya.
Oh,
because her mom uses like a little bit of makeup that's a little bit lighter than her complexion.
Yo, she's smart.
She literally said, Ma, you don't have to do that. Like, me and you, we have beautiful complexions. And I just overheard it, like, in the background. Yeah. And I was just like, my nigga, that was the greatest thing.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. You told her something, she retained it, and she went and shared it. That's dope.
Her like mom's heart stopped.
Yeah, she went and shared it to somebody who should have taught her that. Ooh. But it's like sometimes, kids come into your life to teach you things.
Of course.
So that could be her learning lesson. And to this day, like, she doesn't suffer from that problem anymore. I don't hear her talking about her skin color or just like the anxiety that she used to have.
Right.
So just hearing her say that for that moment, I was like, that was so beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Just to know that I could, like, stop it in its tracks, So now you could go on to your life knowing I'm fucking beautiful.
I'm beautiful.
That's awesome. That's a great message, man.
Thank you.
That's a great message.
Now she's going to be in the beach chilling.
Yeah.
Listening to Aqui Chillin.
Yeah.
Aqui Chillin.
We talk a lot about Christianity in the book as well.
Ooh.
And Catholic.
This is spicy.
Yeah, it's a lot of topics that you talk about in your family.
Of course. These are all topics that are had between four walls. Que la gente no deje que fulanito te oiga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's like
dope. I like
we talk a lot about that. We were raised in a Catholic home, like a very strict Catholic home. So like bautizo, baptism, all of these things. We were in church every single Sunday, every Thursday. Like we had events that my mom would take us to. And growing up, I would always see it, and I would be like, okay, that's cool. As an adult, I would look back at church, and I neglected it so much just because of the way we were brought up into it. Mm-hmm. I realized later on in life that I was scared of God, bro. Mm-hmm. I was terrified of God just because of the way I was taught.
The things they told you.
Yeah, like they don't tell you God loves you. Like they tell you if you do this, he's gonna send you to hell.
Yeah.
So growing up in that Catholic, like in those Saturday classes, they would just instill fear in you.
You know, I laugh because a lot of parents use that to instill fear in the kids to try to control them.
But that's horrible.
Yeah, because you're literally like it's psychological warfare playing with them.
Yo, what time we used to wake up for the communion? Yo, I think it was 7 o'clock. The class.
Yo, I used to be so tight. Like I gotta go to school from
Monday
to Friday.
They were so mean. Yo,
Saturday too.
They were mean to us.
Yeah.
Yo, you about to cry, bro?
Yo, for real. I got trauma, bro.
Yo, me too.
Yo,
damn.
She slammed the Bible on us one time in the middle of service. We were doing like the rehearsal for the baptism for the communion or whatever, and I had my arms like on the stool because we hadn't started yet. And she was like, put your arm down. And I didn't hear her because I was in my fucking zone. I was chilling. And she's like, put your arm down. I didn't hear her again. Yeah. She grabbed the Bible. She was at the stand where the pastor is. She grabbed the Bible and she slammed it. She said, put your arm down. Oh. And I looked at her and I got up and I left. I walked out. I was like, I'm sorry, Mama. That's not going to happen. You're not going to talk to me like that. And I left and then I got kicked out and like my mom had to go back and talk to them because I had missed the rehearsal for the first day. But they were fucking mean.
Yo, you know what it is? Like, you see how when you sign, like, applications and shit, they be like, veteran? I always check it.
Veteran?
Yeah, I'm a veteran because that shit was the military, bro.
Yep.
Word up.
Yep.
That shit was crazy in there, bro.
Hey. Now we're really in DR.
Damn, bro. You over here. You got to tell us about the special effects before you do them, bro.
That was
God. Yo.
No, but that's a fact, yo. It was like on some military style. Like I'm like, damn. First of all, 7:00 in the morning. It's too early for that shit. Like, and we little kids, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you trying to like teach something, be nice, man. Like, make it fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be on some.
I don't know. I feel like religion has always been one of those things that have been used to like control people.
Oh, absolutely.
OD.
Especially our people.
And I believe in God. I have
Yeah.
faith in God. I believe in Jesus, and and all of that.
They'll be like, yo,
I pray.
yo,
you know?
te tiene que despegar. Jesus said he don't like that.
Yeah.
It's like, did he really say that? Oh,
And I agree with you. And it's just people interpret things differently, and
Yeah.
they want to apply it differently too. So I think what's important is what you said. I think what's important is que tú dijiste you got fear in God, you know, and respect them, and try to do the best you can. But all that other bullshit, bro.
Yeah. Me growing, like, bro, I was scared of God. Like, I legit was terrible. Not in a good way. Not in like
that's bad.
Not in like a God fearing way. It was like I was scared of him just because of the way I was raised, and that's when I
you've
decided.
heard.
Yeah, that's when I decided to pull back from church. I pulled back, and I was like, all right, let me just take a look at my life and see what is it that I want. Because I have, my best friend is Muslim. I have friends that are Christian.
Yeah.
I have so many other things. So I was like, I'm not just going to be confined to one thing because I was raised on it, especially when there's so many bad things that happen that nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Which I always talk about pastors touching little boys and little girls.
yeah, that's just crazy.
I read something about some pastor in DR. He said something about that an abortion is worse than a girl's rape.
What?
You heard that too, Team Dominican, right?
Repeat that again.
It's quoted, and this is what I read.
Yeah.
This is not some information I got, but I read on Instagram that a pastor who's being scrutinized now said that an abortion is worse than a woman's rape.
That's
Where does
crazy.
that? ¿Cómo es posible alguien pensar así?
That's
¿Tú
crazy.
entiendes?
That's when you don't,
And that's
you don't
because-
even value a woman's life to say
Hold
something
up.
You know
like
what I'm
that.
saying?
I never understood this. Right? There's a lot of pastors.
But that's justifying rape, though.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
How
It's
are
like,
you gonna?
if-
How are you gonna say that somebody
Something
who was
bad is-
raped, somebody who was raped, which is probably one of the fucking worst gruesome crimes you could commit on somebody, to somebody saying, you know what, I don't want to have this baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two different fucking levels of consent
Yeah.
going on. You decided you don't want to have a baby, and that's your body. You get to decide what
Yeah.
you want to do. You don't get to decide a fucking rape.
Nah.
So that pastor could literally drop dead right now. It's like that also.
Like the way I see it is like that is such an oxymoron, because if a woman's get raped, right, which he said is not as bad, which is kind of supporting
It gets
that,
bad, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
you know, and
You'll
then
get-
she gets pregnant and she doesn't want to keep the kid, but now she's trying to get an abortion. He's saying she's going to hell because of that.
Yeah, she's going to hell, but he's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wish it made sense, bro, but it
that's
doesn't.
crazy.
I wish it
doesn't
did.
make sense to me. It doesn't.
That's
And-
crazy.
and we don't celebrate that shit.
Nah.
You know, so it's one of those things that you gotta be careful what man says, you know, because God is real, and I think he's real. I believe he's real, but you gotta have that fear in God, not be scared of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you. I totally. There's a
It
lot of wrong
definitely-
shit, but I do. It's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely took some growing up for me to like go back and say, all right, the God that I was taught to know is not the one that I actually know now.
Mm.
I understand that God is somebody who loves me unconditionally. You know, he respects me.
Yep.
And he made me in this life to be the best person that I can be
Right.
in very different realms of my life, because I have a lot of things. But for me to do that, I had to pull back. I had to stop
Sometimes
going
you
to
gotta
church.
do
I
that.
had to stop.
That's what I did.
I just had to stop.
It goes back to unlearning things.
Yeah,
too.
it's going back to unlearning, because we were taught.
That's
I
deep.
remember
Deep.
going to the retiros, and they would tell us, like, if you have sex before marriage, you're I don't want to. It's very vulgar, but they would say
You say it.
your asshole would your intestines would fall out.
Damn.
Nah, you serious?
Yeah, I swear to everything.
Nah.
Damn.
They would say your intestines.
That fucking church was
They would-
crazy.
Yo, where was you going, B?
They would say your intestines would fall out. Then they would show you pictures of like abortion, and pictures of fetuses and all this stuff. They would make you sign consent forms to God so that you wouldn't lose your virginity.
To God.
And God printed those?
Huh? I didn't know God had a fucking printer at
That's
the
just
altar.
crazy.
They literally had consent signs, and as a kid, I thought it was okay. I thought it was regular growing up. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
You got
crazy.
educated.
Why would you teach that to children? Why would you put those images in front of children knowing that they're false? And then you're trying to spread some kind of bigotry propaganda. And unfortunately, it's always towards women, bro. when it's religion, for some reason, it's catered to women, and it's just like, I argue with my mom about this all the time, because my mom is very Catholic. She's very into church. She's a servidora at heart. Yeah. She really is a server. So she, in every word, she really does try to help everybody she can.
That's good. That's a blessing.
It's beautiful.
That's a
blessing.
And
she's a woman of church, and I love her. I respect her in every sense. But me and her, we do butt heads in that topic.
Right.
Because I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
So I would say, why is it okay for you to say gay people are going to hell, but women aren't allowed in church if you have your period? 30 days after.
What?
Yeah, in the Bible it says if you have your period, you're not allowed in church. And if you gave birth, you're not allowed in church for the first 3 months after that. So women are not supposed to be in church after 3 months prior to them giving birth, because you're considered dirty. Literally dirty. And God gave you all of this. God gave you a period. God gave you the right to bear child. So I just didn't understand the picking and choosing.
I wonder, but I guess my question to that is, and these guys knows I'm always saying crazy shit, but who created churches?
Who created the Bible?
No. The Bible, like I respect the Bible as a book.
I don't.
Which that's my opinion, and I love you. But besides that, like, who created churches? And this goes to your point where you was gonna say.
Yeah.
Who knows, bro? I think man.
Of
course, man made church,
and they made the rules for those.
I know with DR, the reason Dominicans specifically are so religious, because Dominicans are Catholic, Christian, but they drive that to the end. Like they are really, really religious. And I noticed that we're the only flag with the Bible on our bandera.
Yep. And I have my theory for that.
And I actually read this really dope book. It's called Afro-Latinidad. Yeah, thank you for that. And they broke down every culture and how Africans and Europeans ended up in each Latin America, like where all the slaves ended up. And they spoke a lot about Catholics and Christians, and how when the Europeans invaded the land, it always goes back. Yeah, I don't want it to, but it always goes back.
You're going the right way. You're going the right path.
When the Europeans invaded the land, you literally had to assimilate to their culture. So all black people, cut off all your fucking hair, shave it down to where you can't see your curls or your naps or whatever. Any religion, any kind of things that you have prior to this doesn't exist. Any languages that you have prior to you being here doesn't exist. If you don't know Spanish, you're getting the fuck out of here. We're killing you. Yeah. So with them, they invaded our land, and they said, if you are not Catholic, you are not staying on this land. They literally massacred thousands and millions of people because they wouldn't conform to Catholics.
Right. They invaded in the name of God. That's why the Bible and the Hispaniola is one of the first islands that got conquered, and they got conquered with the Bible pretty much.
And they did that. They used that Bible against us for so long, and till this day that shit affects us, because we make excuses on behalf of the Bible. We make a lot of excuses for people just because of the Bible.
Because of the Bible.
But to go back to what I'm saying,
that's why I don't really fuck with it.
The thing with the Bible is, like, I would personally say I don't believe who wrote it. I don't know who wrote it. But I do understand there's so many passages and things that I can learn from there.
No, they are. There's so many, like,
it's a great book.
There's so many things that I learned, and like it really, and I learned that from my mom. Like, she put a lot of things into perspective for me. But when I was a kid, I didn't fuck with the Bible at all. I was like, I don't know who wrote that. I'm good on that. Too many big words. I'm good. I don't want nothing to do
too many big words.
This one too. She dragged me to a Bible study with her for like 3 months straight, and it was the first time I ever been in a black Christian church. Okay. And they sat down and they read us the Bible, and it was fun, and I didn't feel threatened, and I didn't feel like I was a sinner just because I hadn't gone to church in a while.
Right.
They made me feel welcome. They made me feel like no matter what you do, sis, whenever you want, he's here. Like, whenever you're ready, he's here. And that's what really brought me back to God, where I was like, all right, I don't have to go to church all the time, but I'm going to have a connection with him. I am going to talk to him when I can, and I'm going to pray and do all these things. But just not with religion backing me, because of the way it came into our history. I'm just not with that.
Me neither.
Time out. We need a timeout right now, because I feel like, yo, This might be
fire.
it. This might be the episode.
Yeah,
B.
this is
This
it.
might be the episode because you is dropping some fucking knowledge
That's
here.
a fact.
And this is what we're
you.
trying to do with Aqui Chillin, man. Like, these are the type of conversations we're trying to have. And,
Yeah.
you're hitting them in the
I thank
head.
you, man. I gotta have you guys on for the panel, man. I would love to have y'all on for the panel.
Anytime.
Yeah.
We're here.
You let us know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely I'm gonna have that one for Dominicans and Haitians. Like, I think that's such an important topic for us to have, for us to get some kind of peace.
Yeah.
Or just some kind of solid ground where we could say, all right, where do we begin the work of rebuilding our country? Because what they want to do is split the shit in half.
Yeah. Because the conversation has been started, I think.
Yeah, it has.
In the
but
past couple of years, it's
but
flared up.
it's
you know
a
what I'm
really
saying?
negative. It's in a really negative tone where
I
it's
agree.
like
It
the way some Dominicans speak about Haitians, it's kind of like they aren't even human.
Yeah.
It's like they don't even look at you as a person. They
No,
look
it's
at you
crazy.
as like subpar, like as a second class citizen.
Right.
And it's just about rebuilding that relationship for you to know, like, all right, we are Dominican. We do have our land, but Haitians are here too. They're people too. Like,
Yeah, man.
They have
use,
so much
They
shit.
use them too.
I hate
Huh?
borders, man.
They help. Like a lot of Dominicans out there when they do construction or anything, or they use a lot of Haitians.
It's a similar
You know what I'm saying?
relationship to the U.S. and Mexico.
So it's like,
Yeah.
how you gonna
About
hate
it.
them? You know what I'm saying? They put it in work.
Mhm.
And talking about that, at work, there's a Dominican guy, a dark-skinned guy that comes in the morning, like 6 a.m. And I remember one day he touched out. He was like, "Yo, tu maldito haitiano," and shit. I'm like,
Why? Like, why
"Yo,
you
pero
talking like that?
¿cuál es el problema, loco?" Yo le dije,
Yeah.
"Eso no es nada."
mhm.
Like, dime.
Mhm. Yeah,
And it's
siempre un
the
problema.
tone as well. The tone and the way you address them.
And on top of that, he hasn't been in Dominican Republic for like the last 15 years. I'm like, ¿qué te importa a ti,
Que
loco?
un tigre a lo mejor que no sabe
He don't know
nada de lo que
nothing.
está pasando políticamente
That's what I'm saying.
ni socialmente en el
Mhm.
país. That's crazy, my G.
It's sad. It really is sad. But I do,
Ignorance.
yeah. And I think we're coming to an agreement now where it's like, I rather us have conversations with people our age, Dominicans and Haitians, which is why I want to have the panel.
Absolutely.
Because I know that older people are really stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
I've tried to have conversation with older folks about this,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they are so set in stone.
OD.
I'm like, Diablo, manín.
Yeah, for
Trujillo
real.
really got
Yo,
to your
yo,
ass.
for real.
Still,
You,
son.
They
Trujillo
fucked him
fucked
up.
you
Yo,
up.
Yo, you heard that quote?
Trujillo.
Yo, when we making the
Trujillo
t-shirts,
fucked- yo.
Team Dominican.
Yo.
It's gonna say Trujillo
really got-
fucked you up. That's hot.
That's hot.
That's how
Trujillo
I feel.
fucked you
That's
up.
how I feel about it. Like, for you to still, in 2019, with so much information, still be trying to assimilate to the European side of Dominicans, when historically we've always
Oh.
used our culture came from the African slaves. And I always say that
Claro.
because we
That's
got
right.
our sauce. Bro, black
That's true.
people have the fucking sauce.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
where we got our
That's a
sauce
fact.
from.
Yo, not to say that I be watching Love and Hip Hop, because I don't.
You do.
Ah.
But that's why, Mara La Negra, give her a shout out.
Listen,
Because
I
Oh,
love
yeah,
her.
she's talking about that.
she's been promoting la afro-latinidad y lo orgulloso que uno debe ser sobre eso, big time. And I respect that because I'm very proud of my
Yeah,
blackness. You
that's
know
a
what I'm
fact.
saying? Very. And it's one of those things that whenever I hear people talk about it, I smile. I
Yeah.
grew up in the South Bronx. El único maybe dominicano, yo me crié con
That's
mucho
how it is.
afroamericano,
Yeah,
mucho
yeah.
moreno aquí,
More.
¿no? ¿Verdad? And that's just the way it is, and that's why I love, and that kind of opened my eyes
Mhm.
to my African side, because I never really understood that. We didn't talk about that
Yeah.
at home, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that my parents encouraged it very much, but we really never had the conversation, and then I got older and I used to bring it up to them. But yeah, that's my little spiel on the.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's big, bro. Because a lot of people, they don't have that conversation at home, and it's not necessarily like a taboo subject. It's just not something
Yeah.
that comes up in conversation because, again, they taught our parents, they taught their parents and their parents assimilation. So it's kind of like Trujillo. He really tried to wipe out the black population
Yeah.
and any history, any kind of trace that they were ever there. So that was the ban on religion. That was the ban on all of this shit that happened to us. So it does go back to that, and it's just about making sure that's literally it. Because I always saw Dominicans, and I'd be at family parties like, what the fuck even are we? Like,
Yeah.
it's a blanquito with blue eyes over here, con el pelo
Yeah.
rubio.
Melting pot.
This one has a fucking a fro. dark skin. This one is caramel. Like, I would just be
This
like...
one got the Omega on.
I would just be like, what even are Dominicans? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then growing up, I would always hear black people say, oh, Dominicans are black, but y'all racist. So I would always hear that, and I'd be like, what do you, like, I don't get what you mean by that.
Yeah.
So I would always hear that, and I'd be like, I don't get what you mean. And that's when I was like, you know what, I should probably pick up a book on, like, the history of the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started just, like, reading online and doing stuff like that. And then I purchased some books, and I really started to, like, indulge into that topic just because I wanted to know. Just because I wanted to know. But because it's like, if you don't know, what the fuck are you going to teach?
Damn,
like,
Lizbel.
how can I teach that to my niece, you know, or like the kids to come when I don't know? So my parents probably didn't know, so I don't put too much blame on that. It was a taboo subject.
Now, so we can't chill forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, man.
I wish we could, because this conversation is amazing.
Right.
But if you had to leave a message or algo que tú le quisieras decir a los jóvenes principal, I think, because I feel like where you coming from, you got to plant the seed, because you got a lot of good messages.
Yo, for real.
So what would you say? What message would you give them?
I would give two separate messages. So for the women, I would say, put yourself first. At all times, you always put yourself first. When you put yourself first, everything else will fall in line, because you're going to be happy. You're going to be doing things that you love. You're going to meet people that have the same things that you love, they'll love. So you're going to be surrounded by happiness, but only when you're happy. So I always try to instill that message into women. Put yourself first. Get rid of the bullshit around you. Mm-hmm. Whether it's family, whether it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it may be, get rid of the bullshit around you. Make time for yourself. And know, I could really fuck this whole life up. Like, I don't have to stay in this little box, you know?
Word.
For the men, I would say,
don't be aquerosito.
Nah, I can't. I love my fellow brothers. I have so many good men in my life, man. Like, I really am blessed to have a lot of solid men in my life. So I would say, just be better. Always strive to be better. Always look in how you can be better. Learn, apologize, relearn, and just do what you have to do. Life is about growing and about just making sure we do better, for the next generation.
Sometimes you got to remember to unlearn certain things.
Yes. Too. So unlearn and relearn.
And see things in perspective, man. See the other sides, other point of views. And
it's all about respect, man. As long as we respect each other, everything else will fall into line.
That's fact.
This was a dope interview.
Yo, I love this fucking interview. Yo, but real quick, man, random, I will fucking dig up Trujillo's grave and Stone Cold Stunner him, put him back in that shit, and pee on his casket.
Can you believe that this motherfucker? Can you believe that this motherfucker Trujillo will lighten his picture so that he look white?
Nah. That shit crazy.
Ese mama huevazo. Lo mato si no estaba muerto.
You gotta hit him with the tombstone.
Literally, porque ya está muerto.
Lizbel, thank you for chilling with us.
Man, thank you for having me.
You gotta come back.
I will. I'll come back.
This shit is lit.
Yo, but next time you come back, I'm not, I'm not really like this. I just want to make that clear. But I would recommend some cupcakes next time.
I got you with some cupcakes.
I'm just saying.
I will say this. I had cupcakes in the car with me. Tres Leches cupcakes, but Andy took them.
Diablo, Andy.
After he dropped me off.
Damn.
He took him to my grandmother's house. I told him to take him there.
He lucky I like him,
we gonna see him again. We'll see you out there somewhere, Andy.
Se me va a yo, ¿tú te recuerdas de esos cupcakes?
¿Te acuerdas de mí, cabrón?
I fucking love that accent. Reminds me of Bad Bunny.
Lizbel, again, 1,000,000 de gracias for chilling with us.
Thank you for having us, man. I had so much fun.
And we expect to keep in touch. And when we go through that party, tell your brother.
I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna bring a bunch of cupcakes just for y'all.
There we go.
En secreto, para que se lo lleven a la casa.
Don't even bring them to the event. Just be like, yo, está en el carro.
We'll go pick them up.
I got you.
That's a fact. Yo, I love
y'all, man.
Yo,
I love
you too. I love your energy. I love everything about you, your knowledge, everything.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome,
damn.
man.
Thank you.
Yo, Aqui Chillin, episode number 16.
Yes, he said.
Una vaina bien.
Cacata.